Apple releases best of 2012 in iTunes. iTunes 11 updated. Amazon Video app now iPhone ready. The BookBook case for iPad mini released in the Drobo 5N. It's Friday, December 14th, 2012, and this is iWake. I'm Tim Chaten, and this is what's going on in the Apple world today. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another edition of iWake. Lots going on here, and the first thing to note is something I forgot in the intro, and that is Google Maps. How could I forget? Google Maps is now on iOS. It was released Thursday morning, and what can I say about it? I've played with it. The most I've done is test out the turn-by-turn. I took the turn-by-turn app directions home from work today, and what are my thoughts there? What are my thoughts with just using it as a turn-by-turn app? First off, it was okay. It was not as pleasant to listen to as Siri's voice, in my opinion. It didn't integrate as nicely with backgrounding and lock screen stuff. Something I remember from TomTom days is TomTom used to display a red banner up top when you left the app. Google does not do that. What it does instead is it runs in the background. It will continue to feed you directions, but it does a little pop-over notification when a new direction is ready for you. So it's in the background, but I don't think it's as elegant as some of the other third-party apps out there, and it's certainly not as elegant as Apple's. I've heard certain reports from other people that they were having just problems with it being responsive to rerouting you and finding the best route based on your course correction of turning to a different street. I've heard people of other reports of the turn-by-turn just not being as good as Apple's. But again, if you're in a problem area for maps, such as Australia, it may be a better solution for you. What I think it's going to be great for is searching for locations. Say, I want a pizza store, a pizza shop, and being able to find those. I think it's probably going to be better at that. It's going to be better at the Street View stuff. But for me, the interface of Apple Maps, the elegance of it, the integration with iOS makes it my still go-to app. I'll have more to talk about on Google Maps as I play with it more and more. But as far as turn-by-turn, I'd say Apple Maps is still the way to go on iOS. With that said, have a play with Google Maps. It is out. It's free. iPad version is on its way. It's not there yet. Just like with the YouTube app, it may take a month or two for the iPad version to come out. And it's kind of interesting to note that turn-by-turn is something Google refused to give Apple. And now that Apple has gone the route they did, it's kind of forced Google's hands into creating a better service for iPhone users. So many have conjectured that this is what Apple wanted all along to get Google turn-by-turn and to bring it up to Android parity as far as Google's own app. So some interesting thoughts there with Google and the Apple Map situation. So next up, let's get into what I had planned for the show today. As I actually almost forgot about Google Maps as it happened. It was definitely a huge story when it broke, but it was earlier this morning, and for some reason I didn't have in my notes for today. But with that said, let's dive into iTunes. First up is iTunes Best of 2012. Apple does this thing every year where they showcase what they believe is the best content in iTunes each and every year. Some of the highlights this year are The Avengers, Moonrise Kingdom, Hunger Games, the movie, Breaking Bad, Girls, the TV show, Homeland, the TV show, podcasts such as The Talk Show, Amplified, what else? Music-wise, Channel Orange, Shields, We Are Young, lots of music I actually have not heard of, but this is kind of the big deal of the year where apps also get showcased, with Action Movie FX being a huge app this year. We've got Bad Piggies as a featured app. Lots of great apps that are showcased here, and just a cool place to explore if you're looking for good content. On other iTunes-related news is that of iTunes 11. It's been updated to version 11.0.1. It fixes AirPlay bugs, brings back duplicate detection. So if you were missing the ability to have iTunes show you duplicates, that is now a thing once again. So you are able to go in and find all your duplicate songs, and it's pretty easy. You just go to the View menu bar item, and you can show duplicate songs there. And I found quite a few by just doing that, and that's very cool. They also added, I think this is a new option, hide music in the cloud. So now you can just show it where it's just showing you just the music on your local hard drive. I'm not sure if that's a new option, but certainly an option that is there. What else was updated with this release? Well, first off, there was an issue with new purchases in iCloud not appearing in your library, and that appears to have been fixed with this update. So that is something definitely a good thing, and I'm eager to see them continuing to update iTunes as time goes by here. So what else in the iTunes world is there to talk about today? Well, first off is Apple reactivating this ability to send by, so basically app gift giving with this with a new send by feature. So they added inside of the iOS app the ability to gift an application. So you can now, using the share sheets in the iTunes Store app, share out a gift. And you can also send that gift on a certain day. So I want to send this gift on, say, April 9th, somebody's birthday perhaps. And you can now do that with this iOS app. It's unclear to me if you're able to do this on the Mac, but that's certainly something I would see coming. And another interesting thing to note about this addition is this came without any over-the-air update. This was just a new add-on that Apple can actually update the iTunes share sheets whenever they want. So that's a pretty cool thing just to note there. Next up today is Apple's iCloud and online services. They kicked off a new webpage that shows you green, yellow, or green or warning triangles when things are problems. So you've got things from Apple ID, iMessage, Siri, iChat, FaceTime, dictation, iTunes Store, the Apple Online Store. You've got basically every cloud service, every service they offer with the ability to see if it's up or down. And this is definitely a very cool thing that Apple's added, as sometimes iTunes matches down and it can be irritation not to know if it's your system or everybody's. Next up on the show today, I just want to briefly mention that Adobe's Lightroom is now updated the version 4.3, and it's now Retina ready. So if you're on a MacBook Pro, go out and update. Another app update news is Amazon updating their Amazon Instant Video app. The prior iPad-only app is now iPod Touch and iPhone ready, so go out and update if you're an Amazon Instant Video watcher. Another app news is the new Mail app for iPhone called Mailbox. And this app looks very sleek. It's very Sparrow-esque and Clear-esque. Very elegant app. And it's basically one of the slickest mail apps you'll find on iOS. For me, though, I'm not going to bother with this, as I'm happy with the Mail app that's built into the phone. And it's kind of a hassle to use third-party apps in this situation. So it's out there. It's called Mailbox by Orchestra, and it appears to be iPhone only for now. I would expect that would change in a few weeks, hopefully, or sooner. And actually, what I should note is that it's not actually out yet. It is coming out, I guess, early next year, but a teaser video has been released. And this does look very cool indeed. Next up is that of T-Mobile. They are continuing to roll out T-Mobile ready networks, or iPhone ready networks, with their HSPA Plus system there. And we've got a couple more cities added to the list, which are Atlanta, Seattle, and Minneapolis. So if you're in those cities, you are now T-Mobile ready, and or iPhone T-Mobile ready, and it seems they are continuing to push out more and more of these cities. And it's very cool to see T-Mobile actually transforming their network based on a single device that they want to support. So that in and itself is a cool thing for sure. Next up on the show today is that of 12 South and the Book. 12 South is one of the best companies out there for Mac and Apple accessories, and they've released a new case for the iPad Mini. It's the Book for the iPad Mini, and I've got one of these for my iPhone 5. And basically, this is what it does. It transforms your iPad Mini into a book-like form factor. So you're able to put this on your bookshelf. It blends in with your books. So if a thief tries to come, they won't really recognize that you have an expensive iPad there, but rather an iPad Mini is kind of hiding there. It's great for people that ride subways that want to be more inconspicuous, but also it's great just for the feel of leather in your hand. These are hand-stitched, handmade cases that are exceptionally well built and put together. It comes in 3 colors: brown, black, or red. Available on 12 South's website for $70. And if you're into beautiful things, if you own an iPad Mini, this is something to at least investigate in your search of the perfect case for you. It's now out, $70 from 12south.com. Last of the day is that of Drobo and their new Drobo 5N. So this is a $600 network-attached storage device, and this is in the same hardware class as the Drobo 5D and Drobo Mini. These are the top-of-the-line Drobos performance-wise. These are very well built, and these enable you to have ever-expanding storage. You just pop out the whole old hard drive, pop in a new one. You can have up to 5 hard drives in this, plus an SSD, and this thing is a really, really great Drobo. I have the Drobo Pro, and as these new Drobos come out, it makes me more and more anxious to upgrade it at some point in time. I'm not quite there, as I'm still happy with my old Drobo. But this Drobo hooks up to your network through a gigabit Ethernet port, and that's how you access it. It's all network-based. If you want a computer-based one, get a Drobo 5D or a Drobo Mini. So that is out now, basically, and $600. So it's available at drobo.com. And that will do us for today's show. Thank you for tuning in. And with it being Friday, tomorrow or Sunday, I will have an episode of iWake again. Information about that is available at iWakePodcast.com/again. And that is the way you can financially support iWake. If you'd like to support me financially, just go to iWakePodcast.com/again to sign up for that premium version of iWake. I also do videos on YouTube, youtube.com/TCHATEN, and by supporting my YouTube channel, you will support me financially, hopefully in some way through things I do there. And also, show notes for the show are available at iWakePodcast.com. So thank you for tuning into today's show. And with that said, I will talk to everybody on Monday. I will talk to iWake again, listeners, this weekend. Thanks for tuning in. I'll talk to you guys real soon.